experimental recording again. Okay. Hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are going to discuss a movie Frequency, and it's one of family-friendly movies that teacher Lee suggested, and I enjoyed it a lot. I watched it with my family, so it's not that old. Filmed in the year 2000. And what is about? Let's figure out. Vova, who are the main characters of the movie? Tell us, please. And you're muted, Vova.
The John.
John. Who is this? Who is he?
His son.
Okay.
The Frank.
But well, when we use names, we don't say the. We don't have article, right? So it's Vova and I don't know Ivan and teacher Lee without the. Just Frank, just John.
John, Frank.
Okay, Julia, teacher Lee suggests Frank's wife, right? So it's about a family, right? Family, and we have a few characters inside the family. So the father of the family is Frank. He's a fireman, firefighter. What is the correct way to say it? Usually nowadays, how we say firefighter?
Firefighter, yeah.
He's a firefighter. He's his son John, who is a policeman in the future. You know, it's a movie about time paradox, Layla. So we have like two copies of each character in the past and in the future. So in the past,
that's why I was going to ask you. 6 years old, a policeman. I said, "What is this?" Okay.
Yeah, it's the trick. He is 6 years old and at the same time 36 years old because we have a two moment of time that's like they are connected. But between them, there are distance like 30 years distance between them. So he's a boy and he's a mature policeman at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, they're Frank's wife, Julia, and who else? Who we forgot? The police guy, black police guy, who is kind
Satch.
Satch or Satch. Yeah.
Some nickname, yeah.
Yeah, Satch, a black police guy who actually a friend of family and who I guess suggested to be a policeman to John. To I guess I'm not sure. Okay, and we have a one bad guy in the movie, serial killer. Yeah.
Wow.
They call him the Nightingale murderer. Do you know why Nightingale?
Nope. Teach me why.
Nightingale, I believe, was a famous nurse in history. So he killed nurses. That was his MO. So they called him the Nightingale murderer because he focused on killing nurses.
Nurses. Okay, I see. Okay, let's start. Sergey, could you please tell us the beginning of the story?
John in 1999 found an old-fashioned radio station in your cousin, and he wanted to check it, and he saw the natural he saw the sky with the spatial shine in the north.
Okay, it's called how it's called Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Another name for this, right? Usually Abrelian something.
Aurora borealis. Yep.
Aurora borealis. hard to pronounce.
So it's difficult for
Aurora borealis.
Aurora borealis.
Okay. And
North light. Yeah,
So
and
what was happening is sunspots. If you know the phenomenon of sunspots that have an 11-year cycle, this particular year, 1999, there was sunspot activity that was causing the aurora borealis, the northern lights, to move down southward a little bit. And they could see them in New York City. So this was an unusual period of sunspot activity, which plays havoc with radio communications. So that's the setting. I'm sorry, go ahead, Sergey.
Wow.
yeah, and John is a policeman, 36 years old, and he lost his family, and he lost his father 30 years ago in the fire. His father is a fireman in 1969, and John wanted to test the radio station, and he connected with men, and they have conversation about something. And suddenly, John understood that he has the conversation with his father from the past. And John told him, "Oh, Frank, you will have the problem tomorrow because you lost your life in the fire. Please change your action tomorrow and you will escape." What's the bullshit, answers the friend. I'm a fireman, but stop. You are my father. What's the bullshit? You not my son. My son is the small. And they stopped to conversation. And tomorrow they had a fire in the warehouse, and prediction of men from the radio station were started to be reality. And Frank changed his action, and he was escaped. He escaped in this fire with small girl.
Yeah. Actually, Sergey, you made it like it was one conversation, but there were several, like few days of conversation or something, and they had some funny moments like, "What do you mean this baseball guy did not win the championship?"
Yeah.
or something like this. And actually, this guy from the future, John, they talk it a lot about sport, about baseball, and they like open a lot of knowledge about this, about baseball, about future events. So the reason why Frank believed that he need to make another decision, because he watched TV and started to understand that John told the truth. They can see that these events are now happening on this TV, right, with sport. So that's
I
why
agree
he
with that.
started to consider why how these guys know everything about what will happen in future games. So maybe he knows something about me as well. So that's why he decided to make another decision. So it's good. I want someone called me before I die and say, please, please go another direction. I will believe, without future details. Yeah, and baseball, as teacher said, was their life passion, right? They discussed it all together. They watched games together when they were young, and so on. Okay, Wasans, what happened when his dad survived in this action?
Yes, after he survived, um, in in reality, he came to know that his dad was not didn't die in the fire accident, but a cancer due to cancer. Then he advised his father that not to smoke too much. As he was talking to him every day, after a few days, I think he realized that he missed his mom in the future. He tried to call her number, but somebody else took that phone. So uh, he asked his father that if you are alive, then where is mom? I could not see her in the present, because in before that incident happened, before the radio conversation had happened, he was living with his mom. So his mom was alive, but suddenly she vanished. So he doubted about her presence, and he was thinking about that, and he came to know that she happened to be one of the victim of the Nightingale murder. So from his workplace, he came to know that. So initially there was only 3 until then, but after he changed the past by talking to his father, the count of Nightingale murders became 10, right? And his mom was one of the victims. So now the task is to save his mom.
Yeah, his goal to do this. Yeah, it was a touchy moment, Layla. You know, he just learned it. Old photos changed. You know, his memory changed in a moment. He said,
Right.
"I now I remember two version of my past. So in one of them you died when in this fire. Another one you died from cancer, like after 20 years after. But what happened with my mother? I cannot see her anymore on my photos, you know, and I called her and she's not here. So it's a problem. It's a tragedy for him, right? Because his
Right.
mother just was here and he has a habit to call her every day to talk with her. And then he called to the same number, and what some company answered him. Yes, hello, we are selling vacuum cleaners. I don't know, something like this.
Yeah.
So is it the past and the future mixed?
It's because they changed the past. It's a butterfly effect. So
Okay.
so do you understand? In one version, his father was dead, right? In another version, he was alive and did something that changed the future. Am I right,
Okay.
actually?
Okay.
It's a little confusing at first, so let me kind of summarize it for Layla so she's got a more clear picture. In the present, 1999, he lives with his mother, or he lives in the same city as his mother. He calls his mother every day and checks on her.
Okay.
Okay. In the past, his dad died in a fire, so he makes fluke radio contact with his dad, convinces him he's really his 30-year-old son in the future, and says, "Dad, you're going to die tomorrow in your time in a fire." And of course, the father says, "That's nonsense." And he tells the guy where the fire is, when it's going to happen, and why he's going to die. He's going to make a decision and go one way or the other way to try to escape the fire, and he's going to die. So he tells him, do the opposite of what your instinct would tell you to do.
Yeah.
So and at this time, there was a serial killer known as the Nightingale murderer.
Yeah.
And in the present, he had killed 3 nurses.
Okay.
After he saved his dad's life, the future changed. And when he looked at his police records, now there were 10 nurses dead instead of 3.
Okay.
So he said, "Dad, whatever you did yesterday changed the future. And now instead of this murderer killing 3 nurses, he's killed 10 nurses. Whatever you did yesterday, 7 additional wimp nurses have died." And he called his mother.
Yeah, and one of them is his mother.
Yeah, and his mother was a nurse. So when he called his mom that day, she didn't answer the phone. And when he called her again, it was a store that answered. His mother no longer existed. So he said, "Dad, whatever you did yesterday, the killer killed more women, and mom was one of them. So now he's got to fix this other problem he caused. 2 other problems, really. Save the 7 nurses and save his mother."
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
they have a complicated task. They need to find a serial killer in the past. So
Right.
the son from the future and the dad from the past, I guess. So
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Lee.
And the son lives in the same house with the same furniture as they did when he was a kid.
Wow.
So he's in the same house 30 years later. So one of the things that convinced the father that the son was truly his son in the future was the dad accidentally burned the desk he was sitting at.
Uh-oh.
And in the future, the son saw the desk turn black at the same spot where the dad in the past burned the desk. And he said, "Dad, you just burned the desk." And the
Wow.
father's going, "How did you know that?" He looks out the window. "How did you know I burned the desk? Where are you? You making trouble? Who are you? Get out of my life, And then he learned that it must be true.
yeah.
So the day that he survived the fire, this is kind of cute. The son walks over to the desk in the future and looks at it, and the dad in the past had carved, "I am still here." I'm
Oh,
still here, Chief. And it was kind of a sad moment. Okay, so he saved his dad. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So another complex thing for them, they cannot rely on this channel of communication. They don't know for how long they will be able to call each other. Maybe it will maybe it's happened only for today. Maybe for tomorrow. Maybe it will end abruptly. So they have to make a plan or something to communicate. Okay, so they learn it all this. So they now know that they family connected in time, right? And there are some funny moments when he invited his wife to please tell with my friend, with John. He's a cop, and they have a conversation like just a fun conversation. Like, my mother always proud of me or something like this. So some jokes, because mother don't understand that she's talking to her son who is 30 years older now. So something
wow.
like this. Yeah. So the task, they need to find the killer. Sergey, what did they do?
Sergey, do you remember what he did that changed the past?
Yeah, what father did at this day that that killer what to say, survived? Sergey, you're muted. We don't hear you. You're muted in Zoom.
Yeah. And Cyril was injury, Cyril had an injury or disease, I don't know, and John's mother survived him, and that's why
Saved him.
yes, saved him, and that's why the serial was continued to make killers, and John advised his father, please, I know the time, I know the day, and I know the place where murder was. Please go to this, and please try to change the situation. And one day, Frank saved a nurse, and John tomorrow doesn't have the report about this murder. But next time, the serial noted that he has a problem with the fireman, and they have fighting, and the serial stolen the driver license, and he made the situation. He put on. Maybe the fireman made these criminals.
Yeah, how we call this usually? Fired him, framed him. What's the
Framed
word?
him.
Framed him. Yeah, he was framed. Yeah, framed him.
Framed him. Okay, so there were a few key moments, like key moments. So first key moments that when Frank died in first version, let's say, his wife was with him, like not in the hospital, but because he survived, his wife was in the hospital and she saved serial killer's life. What a what a pity, right? Because she was like a well prepared nurse, and she noticed some mistake and resolved this mistake, so saved his life. Yes, another key moment that John, because he's a policeman and he's in charge of this case, he knows everything about where and when killing had place in the past. So he just can point further to exact moment. Go there and investigate what happened there. Go there and try to notice, try to identify the killer. So something like this. But it didn't went well. So killer identified fireman first. He said, "Are you what's the word for this? Are you stalking me? Are you going after me?
Are you following me?
Yeah, are you following me?" Attacked him and got his documents and framed him. So now police think that the Frank is a serial killer because they found a body of a victim of another nurse with a document from Frank's document.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a problem, right? And he now cannot call John because he's in jail. Vasanth, what happened? How they resolve it, the situation?
Yeah, in the process of his arrest, he dropped the radio, um, so the radio fell down, and he was in jail after that. And the problem was nobody would believe him because the only reason he has is he was talking to his future son through the radio, so nobody was going to believe that. So that was the problem. But somehow he trusted his friend, Satch, is that right? Satch, and he explained that to him, but still he couldn't believe that. So he used the same technique that his son used to make his dad believe. So there was a baseball match going on that day. So Frank told him that what was going to happen next and who is going to win and what are the interesting elements as yet to come in that match. So he said that, and Satch went away to talk to his wife. While he was talking to her, he witnessed that whatever the Frank was saying, uh, uh, it happened as it was. So he started to believe him, but still he needed evidence. So um, then later, I think, yeah, at that time, the killer uh, came to that investigation scene. Yeah.
Yeah, Vasanth, you're right. We forgot to mention that at that time, we learned that the killer was a policeman, right? From the past. He was a policeman. That's why he had access to this, I don't know how we call this, jail or something. So how we call this room where you put a suspect? So investigation room or something?
Interrogation room.
Interrogation room. So this serial killer, he had an access to interrogation room, and actually he went there to kill Frank, right? If not to kill him, at least to ask him how he knows everything about him. And I guess his intention was to kill him. Only lucky case saved Frank, I guess. Vasanth, would you like to continue, or we ask Sergey? What do you think?
Yes, the interesting part is John from the future asked his dad for the fingerprints of the killer. While he was taking the driving license from his wallet. He threw the wallet away, but Frank, however, found that and he kept that. So he reminded him about that. So and he asked him to place the wallet in a safe place so that he can find it 30 years later in the future.
Thank you,
So-
Vasanth. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very important thing. Exactly. So Leila, do you understand? The serial killer, he touched the wallet of father of Frank, and now
Yeah.
they can send this wallet to the future. How?
Very interesting.
How to send the wallet to the future? So they just hid them somewhere in the house. I putting it inside the ceiling or something in a safe place. Nobody will take it for 30 years, and then son can take it, can bring it to his police job and take how we can call dactyloscopy from wallet, and they found
Fingerprints.
who is the victim. Yeah, Vova, do you want to say? We don't hear you. No, nothing. Okay, so it was a trick actually. So how
Wow.
to send thing 30 years through the future, actually through the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the like the way how they know exactly who is the killer, right? So yeah, what happened with Frank and John? Can you continue?
And after that, we have two real killer in the future, in the past. And Frank and John had problem and in the future and in the past with this killer. And in the past, when Frank was arrested and killers went to him and he wanted to kill him. But other policemen asked him, "What do you do here?" "Oh, not. I wanted to tell with him. No, go out from my room." And Frank understand that he will problem in the future, in the 1 hours in the I don't know, and he created some interesting scheme, and he found some wires and he connected wires for electricity feeding system, and he splashed water in front of a door, and he took these wires with electricity feeding in the hand, and he waited the policeman, and when policeman opened the door, he put in the water. Frank threw the wires, and the killers was
beaten by electricity, right?
yes.
So he actually he actually made a circuit, right? Circuit network, like I don't know what's the name, electronical circuit, yes, and so electrocuted this killer.
Yeah, it's real, and why the killer did not kill him? Because the electricity scheme and the electricity started to go only from his leg. The electricity doesn't touch his heart, his head, and it is the light's version of electricity shock.
Yeah, mild way, as teacher Lee wrote, mild way to get electrocuted. So you can survive it, right? Because your heart and your brain not in the way of electricity. So
Yeah.
mild way. Okay, Vasanth, please, your comment or question?
Yes. From this scene, we can assume that Frank is good with repairing electronicals. Uh, uh, right after this scene, he goes back to his home and he repairs the radio. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a handyman, right? Like all these old
Like
generations.
Ivan.
They built all these radio stations and antennas and everything by themselves. Not like me, Leila. I lost this habit already, but like like my father, for instance. Old generations, they can do anything: build a tank, repair a car, I don't know, make a conduit, everything is okay. Yeah.
What happened, Layla, is when the police came to arrest Frank at his home because he had been framed by the killer for one of the murders, as they were pulling him away, they knocked the radio on the floor and it broke. And in the future, John's sitting at the radio and suddenly it goes, and the radio is burned up and it goes, oh my God, I can't talk to Dad anymore. So later, Dad escapes, goes back and fixes the radio. So in the future, John comes home and the radio is all fixed.
Wow. It is interesting. It is also scary for me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead such a life.
Sergey, please.
Yeah, and I want to support one story about repairmen's, about repairmen's cars. In my childhood, my father and my father-in-law, they repair the cars in the garage themselves, because we didn't have in Soviet Union the special auto services everywhere. And we have special permits for auto services. And we had the garage community where the men repaired the cars and they drank vodka. They had good conversation. It's a good habit now. We lost.
It was like a pub for Englishmen. It was like
Yeah,
a club.
yeah.
It was a club for Russians. So what Russians do? They go somewhere. Russian men at that time, they build something, they repair something, they having conversation. So they are all handymen. When I was young, I participated many times. Yeah.
Ivan, with your permission, I will tell you something. I'm very good at repairing things, especially taps. Once I wanted to fix the tap, but I forgot to turn the water valve off. So everywhere was full of water.
A flooding, right? You provoke the flooding.
No, there is I don't know what it is in English, really. We call it water valve. So you turn it off, then you don't have any running water.
Mm-hmm.
So I never try it again.
An interesting historical note is in the old days, back in 1969, there existed a kind of radio called a ham radio. It could communicate over long distances, but you had to take a special test and get a special license to broadcast on a ham radio. And you couldn't just buy a radio and start using it. The airwaves back then were controlled because there weren't many frequencies available. So you had to get a license, pass a test and get a license to be able to use a ham radio legally. So when John first contacted Frank recognized that John wasn't using ham radio speak. He wasn't using the proper procedures. And he said, do you have a license to operate that radio? He said, Dad, in the future, we don't need a license anymore.
It is interesting.
Yeah. But as far as I know, for some types of radio, you still need a license, at least in Russia. So you go there, you register your radio station, and what you get your nickname, like a special code, like VRQ 543, for instance. And now it's your code. You follow the protocol. If someone, for instance, asks you who you are, you present your code. I'm this guy. I am doing this. I don't know for what purpose.
Anybody listening to you meanwhile?
Yes, where radio stations, they are like broadcasting, so anyone can listen what you're saying. It's not like secret conversation.
Okay.
If they get your frequency, then they can listen to your conversation.
Yes, that's why we call this frequency. Yeah.
So what convinced John in the future that he was talking to his dad in the past was his dad liked to just contact people on the radio. This is CQ44V you know, calling anyone on this channel, come up. And John looked at his radio in the future, and the call sign was on that radio. It's marked right there, Charlie 4, you know, VVV. So he said, "What was your call sign again?" "You're my dad." You know, so a lot of little cute things like that were made it interesting.
So handle, it's a slang word for call sign, right?
Correct.
Handle.
What's your handle? Yeah.
Okay, I see. Sergey, your comment?
Yeah, I want to notice that in Soviet Union we have the interesting hobbies like broadcasting and having the radio station, because we have the iron curtain, and the broadcasting and using a radio station was one of two-way for communicating with people, with foreign people. But we have the problem with the KGB, and I suppose the KGB could test the radio station, because it's we had the army frequency, and we have the society frequency. It was a difficult, and but it was a real, and I heard a lot of example when the Soviet Union people communicated with foreign people.
Yeah. So so there was a department of police, special police, whose purpose was to control this communication. But in fact, it was bad maintained, and people would able to call whenever they want, almost. So
now we have the radio station via Zoom with teacher Lee, with Leila. Hello, Leila. Hello, teacher Lee. How are you? It's a new reality.
it's very, very different.
Thank
But,
you, Sergey.
But at that time, it was like real exciting things, you know, when you can hear someone from another continent just sitting here and asking something, I don't know, what is the weather like in your place? Wow, what time is in your place? So it was a magic.
Wow, you're in China. Wow, you know.
I can't believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of jokes about this KGB department, because, you know, people they maintained this secret things very bad. And what Sergey said, we actually had how we call this, ranges. We have two ranges of frequencies. So one frequency can be used by anyone, so it's free. Just go there, if you have a license, use it. Another one, it's for special services, military, I don't know, army, like emergency services, policemen. So you cannot go there and make noise on their frequency. In this case, the police will came to you in no time. I know, I know, because I tried. When I was young and got training for my military service with radio station, I made a mistake, and in 1 hour, police came and say, please change the channel now, because I was making some noise for emergency services or something like this.
So you almost got disappeared in the middle of the night by the KGB, Ivan. Proves my case.
But I'm here still. Okay. So where we stopped, I actually forgot. Sergey, do you remember? So they okay. We now know exactly who is the killer. We have seen him. He escaped from the police in the past, right? And John found him in the future. Is it correct? Yeah. John found him, and he said him, I know everything about you. So I will. I don't forget exact dialogue. I will get some proofs soon, and you will go to the jail. It's my interpretation, not a quote. So what happened after, Sergey?
After the black policeman wanted to arrest Frank, but the black policeman during the conversation with his wife noticed that Frank forecasted the action in baseball match, and he understood that he is not a crazy man. He told the truth, and he ran to the policeman to the police place. But during this time, Frank organized a fire signalization activity, and he ran out from the police place, and he ran to killer's home, and he tried to find the proofs of his killings. And they have fighters. They had fights with killers, and they ran to the beach, and they fight, and suddenly the killers was lost this time.
So killer managed to escape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talk only about the past. In the,
about the past. Yeah.
future, we continue to have the killers.
Yeah. Vasanth, what happened in this, I don't know, future or modern time? What happened? How it ended?
Yes, at the same time, the future criminal, the future murderer tried to kill the future John, the 36-year-old John. But there was a fist fight, there was a scuffle between them. So during that fist fight, he was about to shoot him, but immediately his hand, I would say that his fingers and palm just
disappeared, maybe.
Disappeared, because in the past his hand was shot by John's father. So he was in shock. He was looking at his own hand. Then John used that time to get him, and also there was a gunshot, but John didn't shot him. I think the future father, killed the murderer by his rifle or something. Yeah. And he said again, I'm here, chief, like that. So the end was happy ending.
Yeah. So they actually prevented this serial killing. And another thing, that his father, knowing that the reason of his death in the future was a cancer of lungs, he quit smoking, and now they are all together in the future with Frank, Julie, and John, and then they can play baseball or something. It was a touch moment. Yes, Sergey?
Yeah, if the movie had created now, we would have story about Google, not Yahoo. It's a funny moment. I have the little boy. I have the good surprise for your Christmas. Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahoo.
Okay,
now he will have Google.
Sergey, we have this question on our Padlet. What does the Yahoo mean? Yeah. So yes, please tell us. So what it was?
Yahoo, it's a finding system like a Google.
It's a big corporation, actually.
It's a special system, news feed and finding system and organized system. But now Yahoo, it's a bad company because Google had fight.
Yes, Yahoo lost their race, I would say, because I have an explanation, because their CEO, who was a woman,
oh, you won.
She was hired because for diversity, cases and all these things. So Yahoo sunk because of this. But it's okay. But in general, we can talk about, yes, especially say .com company. So for some companies, you can buy their stocks for $1 and later on have, I don't know, $10,000 for this stock. So well, for 10 or 20 years, there was a abrupt race, right? For this.
Yeah. So Layla, there was a calm time in the movie.
Yeah.
When the son was talking to the dad in the past, and the son's mother came over to the dad, and the dad said, "Hey, Julia, I'd like to talk to my friend John." So she said, "Hi, John." So she didn't know, he didn't tell her that that was his son in the future. So she thought it was just a friend of her husband.
Wow.
So he talked to his mother in the past, and then Gordo, his little brother, came on, and he said, "Oh, Gordo, remember one thing at Christmas time. Remember one thing. Yahoo! Go write it down. Yahoo!" And then in the future, the son has a Mercedes Benz, and his license plate is one Yahoo. He became a millionaire by buying Yahoo stock.
Wow.
I think we need this subplot because everyone would say why you don't want the lottery or something. So they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But that was a moment of brilliance.
Okay, so another question from our Padlet. So if a stranger from the future called you over a radio, would you believe him and make a different decision somewhere, something about your life? What do you think? Whoa, if someone called you by radio or phone and say, "Hello, I'm future Wova. You should not play music. You should study, language, Indian language, for instance." Would you believe? Wova?
Oh, good. He's tired today.
Do you understand the question? We don't hear you. We don't hear you. Okay, something broken.
No sound.
Okay, let's ask Sergey. Sergey, if a future Sergey called you, or I don't know, future your son called you and say, "Father,
Yeah.
you don't have to go to these Ural mountains. Please don't go there."
To be honest, I have a bucket list for me in the past. Please don't make it. Please make it, and make it. Okay. And I would wanted to change something in my life because, for example, I started to go to the mathematician hobbies section. And I think this the mathematician. It is I'm sorry. I don't. I feel that the
Mess. Yeah.
I can't explain. The mathematician, it's a good place for me, but I don't know the mathematics now.
So you was not a diligent student of math, and now you're not happy about this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, yes, I think we all have a lot of things to regret about. So I was not a diligent student in my university. I would take a lot of things from there for free, but I was careless. I was like, I don't need this, I don't need that. I have enough time for everything. So yes, it happens. Yeah. What about you? So what if someone called you and say, "I'm your future son. Don't go to this disco bar. Never."
That's a tough situation. I would not make a decision quickly. It would take days and months to gain a lot of data to trust him. I would ask him about what will happen to the next election and something like that. To gather as much data as possible, so that I can trust him. Because it depends. My life depends on that decision.
You would have to reveal some secret that only you two knew.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you had such a secret. If not, it would be a little bit difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Whoa, can you speak now? Have you fixed your mic? Tell something. No.
okay.
Switch your mic in Zoom. Try to do it. Okay, so we answered this. Boom, 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 boom. Another question. Wow, interesting one. So, do you want to talk to who do you want to talk via that radio? Yeah, if you had this radio, to call 30 years back, whom would you call? Yourself, or I don't know, your father, your mother, Trump, what else? Obama. I don't know. I think that the most like precious, most valuable advice that I can give to myself only. So I would call to myself. I will say, "Hey, boy, you did that all wrong." So what's up?
Yes, yes. There are so many people I would like to talk to. After all these years of experience, like a couple of presidents, prime minister of India, and a couple of presidents of United States. So many people to warn them about their assassination and save their life. So many people.
I see. Leila, do you have a person to call?
I was thinking about the first question, it could be very scary and shocking for me because nobody could be ready for something like that. And the second question of yours, I would like to talk with you. You are so logical. You can say, do this, do that, Leila. Or teacher Lee, go to Rome, Leila. Go, go, go.
Yet if I tell you now, you won't do it.
Yeah, it's actually it could be a good advice, right? Leila, someone could tell you, right, go to the Rome in 2019 and stay there, don't go from.
Yeah.
No,
from-
teacher Lee told me a lot of times. But the thing is, I couldn't leave my mommy here on her own.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I
It's
believe that.
always decision we take, right? Choices we get, or what. Okay.
I don't know how you find these fonts, Vasanth. I just, yeah.
It's good.
Okay. How would we describe this? I don't know. Is it?
If I didn't know anything about the film, this kind of poster, I can say, would attract my attention a lot.
I think it's what we have seen in the air, this northern light or something. It has this structure like horizontal line with light or something.
This
What
is
else?
mysterious, isn't it?
Yeah. And at the end of the movie, see the son at the beginning of the movie, the son had an unhappy life. His girlfriend left him. He was miserable. And at the end of the movie, because he had changed the past, he had his dad, he had his mom, he had his son who had a lot of money. He was happy at the end. So the story's about him changing his life from being miserable to being happy, but also saving his family's, tragedies too. So they all grew up old together. And
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, the northern light phenomena disappeared and the lights disappeared from the sky and it was over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
I like
yeah.
it.
good closure. Yeah.
Be closer, yeah. Use your family. We are social animals, so our family can make our life really, I don't know, happy or I don't know, full or something. Okay. So the beginning of the movie. Leila, would you like to describe this picture? What you can see there?
Oh, okay. Give me some clue,
Um,
please.
but forget about the scene. I know you didn't watch the movie, but just the picture. If you have seen this in, I don't know, in a
It's a
museum.
kind of accident scene, if I'm not wrong. Could be. Yes, it was dark, so it was the night, I think. I can see the lights. A kind of well, the man in the middle of the road was wearing a helmet, a kind of fireman. I'm not sure.
I think it's a construction worker or builder or someone like this.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
the
he's a work.
forklift accidentally dropped all those pipes,
Mhm.
and they fell in front of that truck coming, and that truck is a fuel truck. So when the truck tried to avoid those pipes, it lost control and the fuel tank fell over, and they were worried it was going to blow up.
Wow.
Yeah, it
So
was
was this the accident they were talking about Frank's dad?
not really,
No,
but
different one. Yeah.
yeah,
Different.
but from this scene we can learn how brave was Frank. He tried to, I don't know, he tried to save some time to resolve this accident very quickly because he had a baseball match.
Okay.
But now what happened was one of these workers got trapped underground inside the manhole under the road. And this gas tank on top of the road was getting ready to blow up. And they couldn't get down to save the man. So Frank said, I'll go down another manhole, run over there, save the man, and run back before it explodes. And his boss said, you're crazy. You'll never make it. So he risks his life to save one man. So this
Wow.
is a character building moment. We see what kind of a hero the dad is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, what is happening there, Sergey? Teach us, please.
Uh, we can see the old-fashioned house in American neighborhood,
Mhm.
and
Great.
three old-fashioned cars. And Frank was teaching his son to bicycle, and we can some grasses and or lawn and some trees. And to be honest, I like this time in the American movie because I think this 16th, 17th years last century is a gold era for neighborhoods,
Mhm.
neighborhood.
But Sergey,
And
not 16, but 60, right? 60,
15th, 15th, 16th, 17th,
50s,
50th,
60s.
50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah.
And
What teacher Lee calls like a gold, what age of America or something?
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
yeah, I agree. I don't know why, but it's very convenient for me, and I like this time, and the people were more kind and more connecting, and they have a lot of community. Now we have only smartphones and some application.
I think in general, I don't know why exactly. I can't explain, but yes, in Russia we like America of 50s. We like all those
Yeah,
pictures, all these
I don't know why.
skyscrapers, all this music, all this, I don't know, movies, Hollywood. So we like America of 50s. Our best time of America. Yes.
Yeah. So this year, this past time, 1969, that was the year of the moon landing in July.
Mhm.
So this was happening like in October. So this was right after the moon landing. So everyone was kind of in an optimistic spirit. America was achieving great things in the eyes of the world. You know, a lot of pride in the country.
Sergey,
Not now.
there is a Frank and John with in a helmet, and what they are doing? Can you see?
They,
It's Frank, I guess, and this is John on this grass.
yes,
Do you remember?
he was learned
Yeah,
bicycling.
Yeah, yeah. He was training him to
But
ride a
it was
bicycle.
strange for me because when my father taught me to bicycle, I didn't have the helmet. And after first case, when my father teach me, I have a lot of injury in my neck, in my legs. It's okay. Stand up, boy. Let's go to again. Oh no! Let's go to again. I want. And
Yeah.
we tried again and again, and I know how to bicycle now.
How to ride a bicycle? Yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But usually we're all the same. That helmet is unrealistic.
To my knowledge, we didn't have helmets back in 1969.
I agree.
You know, especially that's a motorcycle helmet. Now he did ride a motorcycle back in that time,
Yep.
but normally we wouldn't put a helmet on a kid learning to ride a bike. I mean, we fall off and hurt ourselves all the time. You know, that was the year of tough kids.
Yeah, the same here. Yeah. If I wear a helmet in my young time, I will be, I don't know, a joke. You know, everyone will laugh on me like, ha 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 ha. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. It's a future time, I guess. Vasanth, could you please?
Yes, this is where he was breaking up with his girlfriend, I think. He's Samantha, I think. She was moving away from his house. The relationship was not going very well. She's moving away, and we can see some decorated item on the wall and a switch board. You can see a mirror and a photograph on the table and some cosmetics, I hope.
I can see on this photo, I can see John and two ladies. I guess because it's the beginning of the movie. I guess one of them is his mother, and another maybe is his girlfriend or something. So
Yeah,
there is no father.
His mother introduced him to his future wife, I guess. And later, when the mother dies in the past, he runs to see his ex-wife, and she says, "Who are you? I don't know you." You know, because the mother never lived to introduce him at that point. Yeah. So he said, "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you." Yeah.
So this funny thing on the wall, I don't know.
Some silly decoration. It's just ugly to me. I don't know what it's trying to prove.
I think it's for your head. You put it on your head or something.
No. It's only decoration. Can we call it kind of ornaments, Lee?
Yeah. It's just a wall decoration. Maybe the wife wanted a little girl, so the bow, maybe she wanted a little girl child, and maybe this guy didn't want kids. We don't know why she left him, but she didn't, something about him she couldn't accept, couldn't stand.
Yeah.
Maybe he's too workaholic, I don't know.
They discuss it, but in a general way. So they say we cannot continue this way. Yes, we cannot. So we should broke for a long time. Yes, we should have. So
yeah,
just this.
Pandemic breakup. Yeah.
Okay, let me describe this picture. So it's the moment when they found this old radio station. Actually, his friend on the left, the guy who will be a millionaire because of Yahoo, his friend from childhood, bring his son to take something from the store. How we call the store or something? Where you put your old things.
Storage.
So they wanted to take a fishing stick from the storage and found the radio. And son, the youngest one, say, "Oh, let's try it. Let me try it, please. I have never seen such a ugly thing." So it's how they started. They switched it on or it still worked. And they did some manipulation with it, so they managed to switch it on, actually. So the beginning of the story. So it's his friend, his son, the bottle of beer, I guess.
Beer, probably, yeah.
The open case of this radio because they tried to fix something. Okay, lamp, and I guess that's all.
Inside the radio, you probably can't recognize them from here, but inside that radio, you can see something called vacuum tubes.
Mhm.
Vacuum tubes is old technology back in the moon landing days when we used DOS. There was no Windows and everything was very primitive. And the vacuum tube was like about as big as a salt shaker, bigger than a salt shaker.
Mhm.
Today, that thing is microscopic. You can't even see it. It's so small. But back then, it was a real huge glass vacuum tube, and all it was an on-off switch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So old
Teacher, we
technology, very fragile.
Sergey, am I right that we call them lamps in Russia?
Yeah, yeah, and I wanted to tell for teacher Lee, and we have the TV in 80 and 90 with lamps, but
Yeah.
and now in our dachas we have the similar devices with lamp because transistor were more expensive for USSR, and
Yeah.
we have only we had modern TV after crash in the USSR.
Yeah. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that these lamps they are more reliable, like in long term.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
absolutely, yeah. And now I know this people who like the good quality of sounds, special music and jazz and etc. They use the lamps devices,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
transistor, not
I
digital. It's a true, not
I
just
heard,
yeah.
only lamp.
I heard of this.
Because
It's a
it's
huge devices. They cost like a fortune, but people
Yeah.
use that because they are very precise in sounding. I don't know, and they are like they work for a long time. So it's ugly, but it works and it it will survive forever.
Even sometimes I don't understand why some things in the past were better. I mean, not so fragile. I don't
Uh,
understand it.
I can answer you for Russian design. In Russian design, everything what you design, what you making should survive the third world war. So we made everything from
But even the refrigerator,
yeah
my mom and dad bought a
Yeah.
refrigerator and it took 20 years. And
exactly. Leila.
mine is every 10 years. I have to change it.
Because now technology is different, Leila. They are like they serve for different purpose. Now nobody use the same phone for 10 years. We change them frequently. So there is no reason to make a phone that will survive for 10 years. Everything
Yeah,
is
but I don't want to change. I didn't want to change my refrigerator. It was out of order. And I've noticed that every 10 years.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, we in America, our stuff's the same way. My mother-in-law's refrigerators and stuff used to break every 3 or 4 months, but our
Right.
stuff would last 20 years. So
Right.
I don't know, but we bought better brands, maybe. Yeah.
No, it is a good brand, but I'm thinking that they are just trying to make us consume more and more.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
We call it I remember that in design we call it like planet. I forgot the name for this planet.
Planned obsolescence.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah. So the thing you buy it already programmed to work for 6 months. Let's say so.
Wow.
They want you to buy it again and buy it again and buy it again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like subscription
Yes.
service software now. They want you to
Exactly.
pay every month forever until you die.
So watch on your fridge, like on fridge, I don't know, at service. So you buy it, you renew your subscription for every 6 months.
I did 6 months, please.
Okay, the next one. Vova, could you please? Whoa, we don't hear you. Please change your mic in Zoom settings. Check what mic you have in Zoom settings. Okay, now tell. Okay, change again. We don't hear you. Not a mic. In Zoom, you have an icon with a mic. So click here and yes, arrow to the up and choose the right mic, please. Oh, we don't hear you.
Oh, he's tired today.
Okay, Vova, come here to me.
Oy.
Vova, come here. He was prepared to the slide. Vova, I wait you. Go here.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, something wrong with his mic. I don't know what is wrong.
Ivan will fix it.
I will fix it in a moment. Please bear with me. Okay.
Something in this movie that to me is kind of impossible to believe, but is real life, is that baseball fans, they memorize all these statistics. Oh, back in 1920, that game was won in the 7th inning by so-and-so hitting a home run. You know, people remember all these trivial details. It amazes me.
Really?
Yes. Okay, Vova, please. Oh, sorry. I changed the photo. This one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
I see that John, he took
It's Frank, right?
Yeah.
Frank is talking.
Frank is talking this John.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Frank, I see the map
Map. Mm-hmm.
of what?
World map. Yes, we can see
World
Americas, both Americas and
And
Europa.
old-fashioned
Tell-
Phone. Yeah,
Very
old
good.
yes.
Old version. Wow.
ball.
Baseball. Yes, baseball ball. This one, right? Small one. Okay. What else?
He pressed the button and talk.
Yeah, yeah. And how we call it? Push and talk system.
Push to talk, yeah.
Push to talk, yeah. Push to talk. So you
Like
push
a
it.
walkie-talkie, you know, beep, bop, come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Vova, have you noticed something strange with the map? Do you have the same map or these continents are different? Is it the same as you have? The map of the world?
No,
No, it's not the same. What is different?
it
The Americas in the center, right?
yes.
Yeah.
In Russia, we have our country in the center, right?
Yeah.
Not. That is Americas. Yes, thank you. You can go to your place. Thank you.
It's odd, but you can tell what country you're in by looking at a world map.
Yes, yes. Have you seen Australian map, teacher Lee?
I have not, no.
Or Google it. You will enjoy it. Yes. When I first time watched it, I didn't understand that it's the map of the world. I was looking at this like it's something alien. You know what? Something similar, but what is that? Yes, it was really funny. Okay, Leila, could you please describe this one?
A very relaxing atmosphere, a very cute house. I think, if I can say cute for the house. I like the house a lot. It's just so cozy, and I can see the wooden house with stairs, and the guy who is wearing the football uniform on the left could be Frank.
Yes, it's Frank. Yes.
Okay. And I can see the old television, and I can see the lady on the right. I don't know who she is. There are children, and I think they are going to watch television. And the television must be the something new for them, right? Or are they,
Could
Lee
be.
gave me the clue, right?
Or they just excited to have some time with television or something.
Yeah, baseball. Okay. They're gonna watch baseball, right?
Mhm.
And I can see some drinks, beverage on the left in the white box.
Mhm.
That's all, my dear friend.
Yeah.
In the past, even today, we say that there's like three American icons: baseball, apple pie, and
Democracy.
freedom or something like that. But baseball is one of the American icons.
Yeah.
Now still,
Surprisingly, the only country in the world other than the U.S. that has embraced baseball is what country?
No idea.
Japan.
Japan. Okay.
Baseball is a big fad in Japan. They love baseball.
Okay.
Strange, huh?
Sergey is a big sport fan, so let's ask him. Sergey, do you understand the rules of baseball?
To be honest, not. It's a strange sport. I understand the American football rules. I understand the basketball, hockey, and etc. But except baseball, I can't understand it. What's happened here? Why they woo run? It's strange.
Yes, actually, in Russia, and Sergey is a very sport-wise man. Don't ask me, but we never know what is happening on baseball. Never. we don't want to hurt your feelings, teacher. We just facts.
That's okay. I don't like baseball either myself.
Okay, Sergey, what is this scene about, and what you can see there?
I think it's a fireplace, firework, firefighters place. They
Fire
had
station. Okay. Yeah. All
they
right.
had a restroom, and it looks like similar to the Russian fireplace. They on the second floor, they have the restroom, the sport hall, and kitchen. On the first floor, they have the garage for equipment, for cars, for different devices. Uh, when they have the fire signalization, they put on the first floor in the spatial tube.
Do you remember the music from what Ghost Fighters or how? What's the movie?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Yes.
Ghostbusters. Yeah,
Boom,
yeah,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
yeah. And we can see the big window and the arcs
Yeah.
window and the old-fashioned building, I think, and we can see TV with two antennas and cooler
Yeah.
and some lighters and chair. And the tent we can see the boss, I think, because he has a chair, armchair, and other firefighters has only not
Stools.
convenient
Yeah.
chairs.
Stools without back support. I don't know.
In the old days, the antennas had two pieces that you could move around. We called them
Yes.
rabbit ears.
Right, yes.
It's an old rabbit
Nice.
ear antenna. You had to sit there and move them around to get a good picture.
Yeah.
We still
So-
have them today, but pretty rare.
Yeah. Sergey, it was a moment of truth in the movie. So what Frank learned there?
Frank learned the result of baseball match.
Yeah, he understood that John could be a real John from future because he predicted everything what is happening now on the TV. And that was before this incident in the store where he should die, I'd say. So he think at that moment, wow, probably I have a real prediction for my destiny, I guess.
Yeah, and we can see one interesting moment outside the window. We can see the spatial stairs of fires for escaping from the fires. In Russia, we don't have the similar devices. It's the old buildings. We have only nine floors buildings, and we don't have the similar things. We
Yeah,
have
they're different. Yeah,
the,
you're speaking about this ladders, or how we call it,
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. We
escape.
call them fire escape ladders
Yeah,
or fire escape stairs. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sergey, we have them in our buildings on the balcony. Do you remember?
yes, but we have different.
They're different. They're vertical. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
vertical. You can go there very fast, I would say.
See, these are for old people. You know, old people can't climb ladders. They got to have stairs.
Yeah. So, usually you use ladders for like stairs for vertical things and ladders for like slides. What is the difference? Is the difference?
Stairs have flat steps.
Stairs.
And a ladder is usually two sides with rungs that you grab with your hands.
I love it.
Ladders you use your hands.
Yeah.
Steps you don't really use your hands. You just use your feet.
Okay, so ladders and stairs.
A ladder you climb. Steps you just walk up and down.
I see.
Have you ever climbed a ladder?
Oh
Ivan?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Because them
All men
everywhere.
have. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess there's not much to describe, so let me do this. So this is the moment where Frank took another way and survived. He was going to die here on this storehouse or something.
Yeah.
Buxton Seats, it says, so probably
Yeah.
a
It
storehouse.
was a factory. Yeah.
Factory, yeah. So, but he found another way and survived. And what else? And we can see, I guess this, I don't think I can call it a pipe or
We call it a chute
shoot. Okay, a shoot. So,
or a slide.
so it's for, I guess, because there is a river with boats. Probably it's to load something on these boats. I guess from the
Yeah, probably. Yeah. A
from the
loading tunnel or something. Yeah.
yeah. So a cargo way or something. I guess. So he used that to escape and survive. And we can see in the front of us, I guess it's a big anchor, we say usually.
I think that's a waterborne fire hose.
You're right. It's a fire boat, and they use like
it sucks river water up and shoots the water onto the fire, but it's not in use. I don't know why.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's actually on the right side. We can see. I guess it's a rail road or something with wagons, and we can see some how it called crane
Maybe. Yeah.
cranes that put some cargo on these trains. So it's I would say it's an industrial picture, industrial paisage, view, industrial view.
Yeah. Old buildings by the riverside.
Okay, Vasanth, what we can say about this one?
This is where he dropped the wine glass and realized that his dad had survived, and his brother and his chief, his boss, were saying that his dad was died because of cancer. We can see a lot of bar setup and a big jar and glasses on the table, and shattered glass pieces.
Yes, because we have a very few time. Let me scroll this slides for few. Let's find some. So it's the moment when they found out that there are 10 cases instead of 3 cases. Yes, yesterday it was 3 cases. Nowadays it's 10 cases. Tomorrow it will be 9 cases, and it's all about this. Keenan and John is in the charge, I guess, of this thing. On the right, I can see something about your West life mat on it.
May.
May.
Your vest may save your life, I think.
Yeah. Since they're policemen, probably bulletproof vest.
Yep.
Wear your vest. Your life may depend on it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Depend on it. Thank you, teacher Lee. Okay, it's a boy, his friend, speaking with future John and getting advice about Yahoo. Remember one thing, Yahoo.
I remember Sergey from now on.
Yeah. So it's a serial killer on the right. He's attacking Frank on the left because he notices that he's following him, right? And he
we can see the strange color of wall.
of what?
Strange color of wall.
Wall.
Purple, but it's a
Color.
Oh,
depressive color.
purple color, yeah, horrible, isn't it? Ugh.
Yeah.
Can I
It's
say
a
maybe
place
it's
for killing.
maybe it's design of the bar or something. I don't think. Okay, they making usually is it dactyloscopy or something. They are learning fingerprints.
Yeah, looking at fingerprints.
Yeah, we call it dactyloscopy, I guess. It's the past, and his guy Satch came for Frank to arrest him. On the right is it's Julie.
Yep,
who's
Julia,
watching.
yep.
Julia, yeah. Okay, let's scroll few more. Okay, Frank and his friend Satch, they are friends, but actually Satch cannot believe the story that Frank telling him. He's telling him, right? He's telling him about future son, who is telling him about crimes, and it's impossible to believe, just impossible. So, and the good thing that Frank also shared this baseball knowledge that saved his life after all. And they both smoking. They are both smoking. And
Notice, go back one real quick, Ivan.
Yeah,
Notice the coffee cups. Those are paper coffee cups.
Yep.
From old vending machines in the precincts, I guess. You can see a glass ashtray that's very old.
Yeah.
You can see a cigarette pack, very old. A metal cigarette lighter, old. You can see on between the coffee cups, you can see matches. They're flat. That's an old style matchbox where you flip it open and you tear off a match. The match is kind of cardboard.
Yeah, I see.
And you light it. So that's an old matches pack. And he's wearing a tie clasp to hold his tie to his shirt.
This,
I would like
silver
to
one.
have lived in the past.
And he's wearing suspenders.
Not usual nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a one-way mirror behind them.
Yeah, one-way mirror. So you can see interrogation room, but they cannot see you. Yeah.
Right.
Good, very good. Yeah, a lot of details. Okay, it's a killer. A police officer came here to sneak. Yes, to understand what they know and everything. So Frank making signal to fire alarm to how we call it fire. Usually, how we call this thing. So
that's a smoke detector.
Smoke detector. Okay.
Or fire detector if you want. Now this is an old design, but we still have this today, but it's a little prettier. But in the ceiling, that black pipe is a water pipe. And those little funny shaped things coming down are we call them sprinklers or sprinkler heads. And when that smoke detector detects heat or smoke, it sets off a fire alarm and water rushes into this pipe and starts spraying out these sprinklers under pressure, and it sprays water all over the room to put the fire out.
Yeah. So it's
we still have this today.
Yeah, I think we too. So it's to prevent fires.
To suppress fires, yeah. It won't prevent them, but it'll minimize the damage.
Okay, secret place in killer's room. A moment when, at the same time, the dead attacked killer in the past, and he's watching his hand disappearing So funny moment, I guess.
Now,
Not
you
really
know,
realistic. Yeah.
let's go back one quick. This was a time paradox.
Mhm.
They tried to show the past and the future happening at the same time,
Yep.
but that would be the present. In reality, the past happened 30 years ago. So these two events couldn't possibly be happening at the same time because this guy died 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't be happening concurrently because one happened 30 years before the other one.
Yeah. Kind of paradox. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a
Yeah.
Hollywood thing.
Yeah. And the last slide. So everyone is happy. They have a, I guess it's John's kid. I guess it's not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
I think so. Yeah.
On the left it's Frank. On the right it's John, and they are together 30 years after because they managed to resolve all the things. I guess it's the last.
Ivan,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch any movies from now on because everybody is telling so nicely.
Yeah, but if you
I
watch them,
understand everything.
Leila, but if you watch them, you have more motivation, to tell us what you learn.
course.
Different people like focus on different things, so we all see things different. That's why when we discuss them, we
But
can
I
focus.
love listening to you because it is true that everybody is focusing on different things. For example, I have understood that you are very observant. For example, when I watch, I only watch the decorative things. I mean, I'm far, far, far away from reality.
Okay, it was a nice movie. I'm happy we managed it. Managed to watch it. It's a pity that Gerard could not join us, but he has some changes on his job. He wrote me on his schedule, so it's hard for him to join us for a few weeks maybe. Okay, so we will choose something for the next week. Something the same way beautiful, I believe.
I
Sergey,
believe so.
would you return from your trip? What do you think? Should we
If-
rely on you? Okay, thank you very much again. Thank you, Leila,
Thank you
teacher,
very much,
for your
guys.
support.
Teacher Lee,
Bye bye.
Ivan, bye-bye, Sergey,
Bye-bye.
Vasant.
Bye bye,
Bye.
Leila. Bye bye, Vasant and teacher Lee and Bella.
See you.
Bye
see
bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye, Volva.